Well, here we are. It is Thursday. It's the 30th, and it's the next to last day of the month of July. And it's also the first of many days of showers and some storms, some heavy at times, as we saw earlier today. We'll update your forecast for you in just a few moments, which still has us barely getting 80, 81, 82 degrees out of the daytime highs for the forecast period all the way through the end of it. A few changes to be made. We'll give you some rainfall estimates again tonight in our update in just a few moments. Again, thank you for being here and being with us tonight, as we will, of course, have our nightly COVID update in just a few moments. That will include another reported case in McGoffin County, which, like other positive cases, has forced some county closures. I'll have the judge and the public health director and mayor with us in just a few moments to talk about that and much more COVID-related news, our state update, also a report on that, and some other news and information. I have nothing new to add to the two cases that I've been following since June and referred to briefly yesterday. We will have with us sometime, possibly before the end of the week, a statement from Johnson County Sheriff Doug Saylor in regards to the search for human remains or other evidence linking the case between the human skull that was found in Johnson County in the White House area back in June. They did conduct an extensive search. I've got some frames from that search and possibly an update from the sheriff on tomorrow's program. Still nothing again today in regards to an update on the shooting death of Jerry Arnott, who was found shot in a driveway in McGoffin County back in June as well. We're closely following both of those, and we'll have a report for you just as soon as any information is available. Hopefully some on at least one of those fronts tomorrow. Your COVID news in just a few moments. I know a little more than what you might expect, I think. It appears as though about a scheduled power outage that has been set for tomorrow morning, 8 in the morning till around noon tomorrow, unless the weather delays or changes that. That's when Kentucky Power says that there's about 100 customers in the Sayersville area that are going to be affected. They are cutting the right of way, trimming trees in the morning, as they have been now for the past several months. And tomorrow, it looks as though they're literally going to be right in front of my house and at another location on Dixie Avenue. And because the trees have grown so much into the power lines, they're going to have to cut the power in order to remove those limbs and branches for a period of about 8 until noon tomorrow, weather permitting. Just to let you know, expect the power to be off for several, about 98 customers, they say, which are tied to two poles on Dixie Avenue. They've been placing phone calls, pre-recorded messages yesterday and today, and if they haven't reached everyone, they hope that we would through the news program and, of course, the Sagersville Independent, which also have been sharing that message with you. Flood advisory in effect. We'll get to that in just a few moments, and in much less time than that, we'll have our mayor and judge executive with us talking about the latest positive case, its relation to the courthouse services, and other local COVID news. Next. Car accidents don't stop. Accidents at work don't stop. Disability and SSI cases don't stop. Your legal needs and concerns don't stop for the coronavirus, and neither does McFarland and Tinker. They are open, able to schedule appointments per CDC guidelines, and always available for telephone and video conferences. Please, be safe, be smart, stay home, and don't let your legal needs fall victim to the pandemic. Call McFarland and Tinker and let them take care of them for you. First, it was pennies, and now it's everything. Because of the pandemic, most banks haven't been able to order their weekly amount of coins for weeks. And without all of the fundraisers and activities going on, a lot of that change that would normally be in circulation isn't. So the Sayersville National Bank says now is a great time to help out and cash in. Bring your coins to either drive-through, or if you've got a lot, call ahead to give them to someone at the door and help your local businesses. And remember, you can pay all of your bills and practically do all of your banking on their mobile and online services, and all inside and lobby services are still available by appointment at Sayersville National Bank. here in Magoffin County. Moore County services are closed for the foreseeable future as a result of reports of a new COVID-19 case in Magoffin County. We'll have that information as well as an update on the Magoffin County Garage and Recycling Center at the end of this following interview, in which Pete Shepard and Judge Executive Matt Wireman both discuss another positive case reported just today, which involves, they tell me, a county employee whose duties were to screen those entering the courthouse.
We've got a total of 1,198 tested with 1,165 negative. We got 15 pending today, and as of today, we have 18 positive now, 11 in isolation, and 7 of those have recovered. I think about 3 or 4 of those in isolation will be coming out this week, by tomorrow or Saturday, be out of isolation. So.
And your positive case today obviously resulted in having to notify the judge. What specifics can you tell us about that?
Just an employee at the courthouse. The employee there was there last Friday, and I think Judge Wormley shut the courthouse down for cleaning, precautionary measures, and all the workers home, just like he did with the road crew. This individual also worked at the Dollar General in Royland, and we contacted them, and other than that, she did, I think, show some symptoms on Sunday. I think so. I think they all run together anymore. So, but yeah, and her and her family's quarantined for 14 days, and all of her contacts. So we've contacted them, and everybody's been contacted that has to be, and the Dollar General's management's been contacted, and then I'd like to say Judge Worms took care of the courthouse.
Judge, so that's resulted in another closure for you. Can you tell us a bit about who or what service this employee did and the closure?
Yes. First of all, well, as I always want to make sure everyone does, we need to pray for this person and her family as they battle this virus. This is a very serious situation. The employee, she's announced on social media. So she worked at the front door. She was a lady that done the temperature checks. And she is very diligent when she wears the mask. She follows social distancing guidelines as good or better than anybody I know. And it's kind of strange that she has contracted this, but I think what it shows and proves is that even though someone is diligent in wearing their mask, by being around people that don't, that it gives those people the virus too. Because this is one person that we know should not have contracted the virus. Because she did follow those guidelines, but having worked at the dollar store, we do know that there are folks that continue to go in and out of there refusing to wear masks, so there is exposure there.
Pete, back to you. Was there any danger or risk of exposure for all the folks that she greeted at the door?
No, I don't think so. I think when she was around, most of the time she was wearing a mask. I think the biggest problem there is the fellow employees, maybe they wasn't wearing masks when they should have been, and that's why that shift was taken. I would tell you that after talking with Judge Worman and with the guidelines the governor's given down, I'm going to start really putting the pressure on the employers, the businesses, to make sure those that enter the business are wearing a mask. We can, it's hard to ticket or warn. There's been lawsuits about individuals being ticketed and fined. We're going to businesses now, and they're telling me that if we're sued, we have to hire our own lawyer now. But with the businesses, we can close them, and there's really no recourse for them. So we're going to start putting the pressure on the businesses to ask people when they enter to wear a mask, and if not wearing a mask, they won't be serviced or be able to purchase anything at that business.
Judge, how long is the courthouse going to be closed?
Well, based upon the information that we have, we think that the potential for exposure to the employee was probably well over a week ago. She hasn't been here since last Friday, and so we're going to close the courthouse at least until next Tuesday with the planned reopening on August 5th, on Wednesday, August 5th at 9 a.m. That would be approximately a 14-day window since we're already this far into it. We believe that the measures that was taken by those coming in the door, by her wearing her mask, continuing to socially distance. We have a plexiglass shield up down there. So when the people come through, they are immediately handed a mask and put it on. So and I think everything was done properly down there. So hopefully that can ease some minds of those folks that's been in here last week. Again, on Monday, like I said, hasn't been here. So hopefully there's been no exposure any this week. I'm not aware of any people being symptomatic as far as the staff here go. So hopefully by next Wednesday, everything will be good and we get back on track.
Does this have any bearing? I know that the county garage and recycling had been back open. Does this have any bearing on that?
We opened the recycle and the county garage back up on Monday. All of the employees went and got tested, come back negative. We had some part-time employees that chose to just wait to come back next week, but they were off all this week. There is no impact there. Those guys haven't been here to be exposed, so they're still going to be operating on a normal schedule unless something else comes up.
All right, before we close, anything else from either one of you gentlemen?
No, I just want to remind everybody, we've got to wear the mask. This is just, it's imperative. It's inconvenient. I don't like it. As I've stated in my public release, I like living a whole lot more than dying, and I think everybody else feels that way too. I like feeling good and being healthy and not sick, and I'm sure everybody feels that way too. And this inconvenience of wearing a mask, it's a small price to pay just to protect everybody. We can do this, McGoffin County. Come on.
Yeah, I'd like to just reiterate too that it's might hurt some of your feelings to have to wear a mask, but if you're going to shop in these stores in Sayersville and McGoffin County, you're going to wear a mask. I mean, it's just going to be plain and simple. You have to wear a mask if you want to go. If you want to go to another town or a city and shop where they don't let you wear a mask, that's fine. But you're going to wear a mask in McGoffin and Sayersville, Kentucky. That's just the bottom line. The health of everyone is worth more than hurting somebody's feelings because they can't wear a mask. That's just the bottom line. 13,000 people life at stake, and we can't just not wear a mask because about 25 of them don't want to wear one. That's just the problem.
That interview done right around the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon at around 5 till 6, just a few moments before I started this program. I received an update from our Public Health Director and Mayor Pete Shepard of a second confirmed case of the coronavirus today here in McGoffin County, in addition to the one that he and the judge just spoke of. A second confirmed case coming this evening, which is also the second case in McGoffin County related to an employee at the federal prison in Martin County. Now, this is not related, he tells me, to the first confirmed case of a McGoffin County person who was employed at that facility. It is not related to that, but it is that of a McGoffin County person who is employed at that facility. He also tells me that there is going to be extensive contact tracing related to this case, as it appears as though they may have had a great deal of contacts with other individuals or family members over the course of the weekend. I'll have an update on tomorrow's program. The seasonal shop is open, and they're still doing curbside pickup, so you can call and place orders, and they'll still bring them out to you. And inside, you'll find all new merchandise throughout the entire store, all new spring and summer women's clothing from Charlie Page and Mud Pie, accessories, jewelry, shoes, and bags too, casual outfits for everyday or special occasion outfits and dresses. And if you've been home a lot and really want to freshen up your decor, they have so much to choose from, and they're happy to give you any fresh ideas that you might need. And just in, a large selection of Simply Southern and Candleberry at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Sayersville. Oh, it's what a lot of you have been waiting for. They're back, but only for a limited time. Loaded potato wedges at your Sayersville Lee's famous recipe. That's right, our famous hand-cut homemade potato wedges smothered in cheddar cheese, real crispy bacon, topped with either sour cream or ranch, your choice. And they're still only $2.49 with tax. Get them while you can at your Sayersville Lee's. Summer heat and no AC make for a miserable drive. But don't sweat it. Call Black Smoke Performance in Sayersville for inspection, diagnostics, and repair by qualified technicians with the latest technology and equipment. Don't suffer in the summer heat. Get your air conditioning fixed today at Black Smoke Performance.
We let out of Kingsport. bars are cooled down, the guitar's put away. I put that Vic in the hammer lane, and this is what I'll say. Well, that road is long, and my eyes are wide, playing country music, treating people right.
Preceding today's update in positive COVID cases and deaths in Kentucky, Governor Beshear first reminded everyone of the top 10 rules pertaining to being healthy at work, including telework, phased return to work, conducting temperature checks and wearing masks, limiting common areas, and limiting face-to-face meetings, among other items. He did so in announcing another high number of cases today in the past 24 hours, but a number of cases he still says are what could be on par with leveling off from the major spike we saw just days ago.
So today's report is generally what we've been seeing, in that we hope we are at a leveling off or a plateau. So our cases are a little up from yesterday, but our positivity rate is down because we've had more tests. So today we're reporting 659 cases of COVID-19. That is out of 11,217 tests. Our positivity rate today is 5.66%, and that is down. Now, we have a total number of cases we've now reached at 29,386. 29,386. It means we'll reach 30,000 soon. And it's hard to think that we can have hope in numbers as large as 659. But I want to read you the numbers for the last 3 days of this week, and then I'm going to read you the numbers the last 3 days of last week. This week, leading up to today, 532, 619, 659. Same 3 days last week, 674, 518, 611. So we believe what we are generally seeing, and James, can you put up the graph for today, is a leveling off, or at least a significant decrease in the overall escalation of the virus.
Those 659 new cases today contribute to a now adjusted 5.66 positivity rating. The governor also announcing 7 more Kentuckians have died as a result of the COVID-19 virus. Several of those today reported being in their 60s. He also said that today's numbers included 22 children under the age of 5. It also included 5 new facilities, those being long-term care facilities, in which an additional 12 residents and 18 staff have now tested positive. No new deaths reported in any long-term care facilities. There were also 2 new child care centers reflected in today's numbers as well, with 2 staff and 4 children testing positive. There's also increasing evidence tonight that the coronavirus has still lasting impacts on other parts of the body, including the heart. 2 German studies published today found abnormalities in COVID-19 patients months after they had already recovered from the disease. The first study, including 100 patients, where researchers looked at MRIs of the heart taken about 2.5 months after those subjects were diagnosed, and then compared them with images from people who never had experienced the coronavirus. The study found heart abnormalities in 78 of those 100 people, with 60 of those patients showing signs of inflammation in the heart muscle from the virus. Similar sentiments shared by Dr. Stack in today's briefing as well, where he reminded us of how it's already been confirmed they believe these age groups are affected. Dr. Stack reminding us that with this virus being in existence for only 8 months, there's still a great many unknowns, but what they believe at this time is that as for children, as far as they are concerned, it can cause multi-system inflammatory disorder, as we have seen a lot of other symptoms as well, including low blood pressure and heart damage. For young adults ages 18 to 34, blood clotting, stroke, pulmonary embolisms. 1 in 5 of those young adults still exhibiting symptoms 2 to 3 weeks after they're diagnosed, and taking over 6 weeks to recover. And for 50-year-olds and over, they are 2 times likely to still have symptoms 2 to 3 weeks after diagnosis, and 97% of all Kentucky deaths have been in people over the age of 50. With Dr. Stack adding that any age can experience permanent lung damage. Now, let's go on to tonight's community calendar. I've got some special announcements that started off as we usually do. This announcement's actually twofold. It's a birthday announcement for Connie Minix, as well as a congratulations to Connie Minix, celebrating her birthday today, and also retiring from the Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center after 26 years. You know, I've been doing this show almost that long, and for much of it, I followed Connie around the nursing home and watched as she tirelessly spent every waking moment at that facility, making sure that everyone was as happy and as comfortable and as healthy as possible. And I'm already hearing everyone say, and as I'll chime in and agree with, that it's just not going to be the same without her, without hearing her going down the halls, singing to the residents, always being good for a smile. Her dedication and love of her residents was always something that I've admired, and I want to thank her for that, as I'm sure a lot of other folks do as well. And I want to say happy birthday to our friend Connie, too. Happy birthday and congratulations, Connie. Happy birthday to you. And from the Water into Wine Food Pantry, a reminder they're open every Wednesday for their regular food pantry day, 9 till 11:30. Only 2 boxes per vehicle. They say they're sorry for the inconvenience, but they've had some folks take advantage of allowing people to go back through the line, for a third-person box. So they want to limit 2 boxes per vehicle and remind you that their Senior Community Day is the 3rd Thursday of each month from 12:30 till 3:30 or until all the boxes are gone. If you're on the senior commodity list, please, if you can't pick up your box by 2 o'clock, and at 2 o'clock, those in the waiting list will be served. And my calendar is here to serve you each and every weeknight at 6 and 11 for free. You just got to send that message to me, and I'll send it out there for everyone else. Moving on to tonight's funeral services, a reminder of services to be held for 24-year-old Mercedes Lane Whitaker Stevens tomorrow, the wife of Charles Stevens and the daughter of Shane and Tracy Helton Whitaker. Funeral services are to be held in her honor starting tomorrow morning at 11 from the First Community Baptist Church. Friends can call on the church for the rest of this evening for visitation. Services are also going to be held tomorrow for 85-year-old Charles Puckett of Dixie Avenue, who passed away on Monday, survived by his wife, Joan Viola White Puckett, son Charles, and daughters Edith Likens, Connie Puckett, Melissa Arnett, and a host of brothers, sisters, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren as well. Funeral services tomorrow at 1 from the New Bethel Assembly of God on Burning Fork. And Troy Gullett, 77, of Pilgrim, Kentucky, passed away this week. Born to the late Oscar Gullett and Florence LeMaster Gullett here in Magoffin County. He is survived by his wife, Kathy Moore Gullett, sons Troy Gullett Jr. and Cody Gullett and Tyler Gullett, and daughters Norma Robinson and Charlene Gerald. And here in Sagersville, he is as well survived by one of his 3 sisters, Amanda Mandy Prater of Dixie. Services in his honor will be held tomorrow at 1 from the Crum Funeral Home in Inez. 74-year-old Jim Fletcher of Sagersville is going to be laid to rest tomorrow, survived by his wife Dottie and son Jimmy and daughter Melissa Daniels. Private graveside services held tomorrow at 1 in his honor. And we've just learned of the passing of 49-year-old Tiffany Renee Coffey Elam of Sagersville. She passed away yesterday at the Kentucky River Medical Center in Jackson. The daughter of the late Gary Marcus Coffey and Gail Coffey, she survived by her companion John Heron, son Houston Elam, and daughter Darian Wallace of Moorhead, as well as brothers Marty Coffey and T.J. Coffey. A memorial service is to be announced at a later date. Tire in Staffordsville is now a proud partner of Rough Country for all of your suspension and lift kit applications. And you can always go to conleytire.net to get the latest offers. Like right now, $100 when you buy a set of Mickey Thompsons, $100 on a set of Continentals, and many, many more summer deals, including $35 computer diagnostics. That's Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. All Pro understands that we are all just trying to make it through these most difficult of times, and they want you to know that they're here to help with any repairs or projects that you need done. Big or small, doesn't matter. They've got 0% financing for 18 months and long-term financing if you need it. If you need anything from a new gutter to a new house or a new garage, call All Pro Gutter Works and Construction, 349-9999. Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville and get your prescriptions filled, your over-the-counter medications, and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle, either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400. Now on to your weather forecast. As you notice behind me, the rain's starting to lessen, and as you can see here on the radar, starting to make its way out and giving us a break in the action for a little while. Some of us picking up well over an inch earlier today, some closer to 2, and some minor flooding issues that I've had some viewers and readers send us reports of, but no major damage as of yet. I hope that continues to be the case. We did have a flood advisory that was issued for parts of Magoffin and Breathitt counties, which expired shortly after 5, but that flash flood watch is in effect through tomorrow morning for all of the viewing area. Keep that in mind. As for how much rainfall we can stand to pick up from here, let's go on to your outlook. And that's where we still see an 80% chance of some showers and thunderstorms up until about 5 a.m. So while we have a break, we're not out of the action for the rest of the evening, I don't think. Patchy fog tonight and a low of 70. For your Friday, temperatures will barely hit 80, around 80, 81 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms likely to the tune of 80% anytime after 7 in the morning on. We could pick up another half of an inch of rainfall tomorrow during the day and another half an inch of rainfall tomorrow night. So another inch on top of what we've already got, and some folks could see much more than that if they get under one of those heavy downpours or thunderstorms. Again, 81, 69 for your high and low tomorrow. Southwesterly winds anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour on average. For your weekend, a bit of a mixed bag, if you will. Saturday, we'll hit around 84 degrees. We'll see mostly cloudy skies and a 60% chance of showers, and another half of an inch of rainfall possible throughout your Saturday. Thunderstorms are quite possible during the afternoon as well. Mostly cloudy conditions and a 50% chance of lingering showers and storms Saturday night. Sunday, the sun makes at least a partial return. We're still in the low 80s, but partly sunny skies. Shower chances start to finally decrease down to about 30 and 40%. And then thereafter, we'll start off next week on pretty much a similar note from there on. Mostly sunny, albeit Monday with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms anytime after 10 o'clock in the morning on. Monday night, a low of 63, partly cloudy, a 30% chance of those showers and thunderstorms continuing. And that's the pattern, folks, from there on out. 81, 82 degrees roundabout for the rest of next week, all of next week, with some sunshine and some shower chances. And that's going to wrap it up for this evening. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Good night to sit on the couch, do something relaxing, and maybe try to think about anything but the coronavirus for at least a little while. Enjoy the rest of your somewhat rainy evening. Here's to hopefully no storms in our future, but we'll talk more about that when I see you next. That's tomorrow. Good night, and thank you for watching.